So hi everybody, welcome to Grow with Kumar. What we are going to do today is we are going to understand how to make the best out of the stocks which you are going to be receiving on the channel, that is the Three Dots application. Correct. So now starting from 1st October, as we move ahead, you are going to receive fundamental stocks as well as swing stocks. Now try to understand that the psychology behind stocks which you invest based on fundamental analysis are to be held for a longer period of time. Longer period of time ka matlab kya ho gaya? That you are going to be holding it for over a year, 2 years, or even more, depending on the company's performance. Correct. So the psychology behind holding a fundamental stocks is completely different from the stocks that we are going to be recommending with the help of technical analysis. Correct. In technical analysis, we look at the short-term price of the stock, how the stock is behaving. So with fundamental stocks, we're also going to give you set of stocks, which is the swing trading stocks, right? Now, these swing stocks, probably the holding period depends upon how the trade is performing, but you can say over a week or two, right? You may have to hold on to a stock, and if the stock is performing very well, at times you have to hold on to a stock for even for a month. But do you understand the psychology between both the kind of investments, like long-term investments as well as your short-term trading, right, is completely different. And henceforth, the first thing that you're supposed to do right now is open a two trading account. One you can open, let's say, with Zerodha, right? Another one you can open with another broker like Upstocks or Angel Broking, any broker which you prefer, right? So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to open two accounts, two trading accounts, one for the purpose of investment, another one for the purpose of trading. I hope this is very, very simple. Let's move ahead and understand how you're going to deploy your money, right, into each of this account. For example, let's say you have something like around 1 lakh, right? Or whether you have 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 5 lakh, it does not matter, right? So assuming that you have 1 lakh, the first thing that you should do is you are supposed to put 50K in your first account, which is, let's say, the account in which you are going to be investing, correct? And then you are going to open, you're going to put 50K in your another account, which is what? Your trading account, in which you're going to take your swing trade. So the first step which you are supposed to be following is, right, open two trading accounts, correct? And divide your money into each of these accounts, okay, equally. I hope this is understood. Now let's move forward and understand how we are going to provide you with these stocks. Correct. When it comes to fundamental stocks, right, we are clearly going to tell you, for example, let's say you are supposed to enter into a stock like VIP Industries, right? So we'll be giving you first why you are supposed to invest in VIP industry. Why are we suggesting you to invest your time, money into this stock for a longer period of time? Correct. So you will get the fundamental report. You will get how the management has been performing, how what does the company do. So all of that in a very short and brief manner, so that you read. Okay, like in 4 or 5 pages, we'll be giving you an understanding of the business. If I give you a very long report which we prepare, you may not even bother to read it, right? So we'll give you a smaller report which will tell you about the business, right? So this is what the fundamental stocks are going to cover, right? And now the point is, we'll give you the entry price. We'll also give you a range that, okay, this is a fundamental stock. Okay, this is a fundamental stock, and you can probably enter this within a range of, let's say, 100 to 120, something like this. So we'll be giving you a defined range in which you can enter into a stock. Now, let's say I have given you a stock which is trading at 135. However, the entry range for this stock is 100 to 120. In such cases, you should not enter into a stock. It could happen that you have joined this service later on and then you have come across this stock. So always make sure that you wait for the stock to come within the range. Correct? I hope this is clear. So now the entry is clear. Okay. And another thing is how to exit into a stock. Let's say I have suggested a stock and you're supposed to be exiting it. Now, when it comes to fundamental stocks, we will notify you when to exit a stock. I hope this is also very much clear. Here, we will have our own criteria to exit a stock. And do not worry, whatever stocks that we are going to be informing you, since this is the information-based product, all the stocks which will be shared, right? They are going to be put or invested or traded on my personal account. We'll always be sharing you that how we have taken this trade. Correct? Now, let's move forward and understand that how many stocks you may get when it comes to fundamental stocks. Now, understand these are stocks which are meant to be for investment. So we are not going to give you something like, one stock a week or one stock a month, something like that. No, whenever there is an opportunity, you will get a stock. So let's say as soon as you get, let's say 3 stocks from my side, right? Let's say you get 3 stocks from my side. How are you going to deploy it? Remember one thing, the most important thing in investment or trading or be it any business is the position sizing. Correct? Now, understand one more thing. Like I said that you had 1 lakh rupee and you put 50,000 in your investment account and 50,000 in your trading account. Correct? So out of this 50,000, you will only invest 10% of your capital in one stock. So how much is 10% of 50,000? Well, it's just 5,000. Clear everybody? Right? So 50,000 अगर आपका कैपिटल है तो आप सिर्फ 5,000 एक स्टॉक में एंटर करोगे. फॉर एग्जांपल समझो मैंने आपको डीएलएफ दे दिया, आपको मैंने इंडसइंड दे दिया, आपको मैंने टाटा केमिकल्स दे दिया, तो आप इनमें 5,000 का इन्वेस्टमेंट आप करोगे. ठीक है? आई होप पोजीशन साइजिंग बहुत क्लियर है. इसको एग्जिट कैसे करना है, हाउ यू आर सपोज टू एग्जिट दिस, दैट आई विल इन्फॉर्म यू. करेक्ट? दैट विल बी इन्फॉर्म्ड टू यू थ्रू द एप्लीकेशन. Now comes the second thing, which is your swing trading or positional trading. Correct? So fundamental आप समझ गए हो कि भाई ये जो stocks है, these are based on the fundamentals of a company. कंपनी कैसी है, उसके promoters कैसे है, उसके ऊपर ही डिपेंड करता है. Talking about the swing stocks. When I talk about swing stocks, these stocks are particularly focused on our price action methodologies. Okay, if a stock is breaking a range, we would recommend you that stock. Now mostly these stocks are going to be on a daily time frame or weekly time frame or even monthly time frame, right? So the time frame depends on the kind of structure, right, that we are seeing on the stock. Now remember one thing, in this particular case I will give you the entry point, where you are supposed to enter, how you are supposed to enter. Second is your exit. So I will also give you an initial stop loss, right? For example, let's say I tell you buy Bajaj Auto above 3450, correct? And then I would ask you to put a stop loss of, let's say, 3,200. So I've already given you a initial stop loss, correct? So you know that, okay, this is the price point where I am supposed to be booking my stop loss in case the market is going to reverse. Correct? Again, now the entry is clear, the stop loss is clear. I hope this is correct, right? Now the target. Now, one thing about target is, which I'm going to be covering soon, so do not worry about it. Again, position sizing remains the same. How in fundamental analysis, if you are given, let's say 10 stocks, you are going to make sure that you deploy only 10%, right, in each of these stocks. Clear? Similarly, if I give you, let's say you have 50,000 in your swing capital as well. Let's say I ask you to buy Tata Motors, correct? So how much quantity you will buy of Tata Motors, or how much money you will put in Tata Motors? 5,000 rupees. So 5,000 rupees में कितनी quantity आ जाएगी भाई? समझो टाटा मोटर is trading at 350. Simply divide 5,000 by 350, right? And you will get the quantity as well. If you want, we can actually do this as well. This calculator over here, correct? 5,000, correct? Divided by 350. So you will buy 14 quantities of Tata Motors, correct? So this is how you are going to divide your position sizing, right? Now comes the exit part. How to exit in a swing trade, right? For that, we are going to use an indicator, right, called moving average. Now you may have a question that why do we don't have a defined exit? For example, if I'm entering at 310, why do I don't have a defined exit of 350? Well, the reason is at times when a stock really has to go up, it does not look at anything. I mean, if the momentum is strong, it can even double, right? So we don't want to move, we don't want to miss the big moves. For example, if I were to take you to some of the recent stocks that we recommended to our clients as well. So I'll just take you through some of them and how we are going to use moving average in this case. For example, first of all, whenever you're looking at the chart, we are going to look at the chart on a daily time frame, as this is swing charts, right? For example, we had recommended Tech right, Tech Mahindra to our clients above this level, above the levels of 11118, right? So if the stock were to trade above this, one can go long. Now the point is, if I had given a target, right? So my stop loss over here was very simple. I had a stop loss of about 7%, correct? 7% was my stop loss. Now, if I told them to exit at 7%, it would not have reaped good returns. So that's why in such cases, we don't have a target because we don't know how far a stock can go, correct? So we use something called a moving average. You're going to use a simple moving average of 20 EMA. If you see, even right now after this big fall, Techem is still trading above the 20-day exponential moving average. So where do you get it? You simply go to your indicator part over here, click on EMA. When you click on the EMA, simply over here go and click 20 EMA, right? 20 EMA, correct? 20 exponential moving average, correct? This is how you will have a EMA on the chart. So if you don't know what is EMA, well, you can simply Google it. However, I'll just briefly explain you. EMA is nothing but it takes the average of the last 20 days closing prices, right? So it is an average of the last 20 days. So if the price is trading above the average, we assume it is bullish. And if the price is trading below the average, we assume it is bearish. So it is very simple. This is one way of exiting the trade, right? And whenever I exit a trade, I will try to also put that in the group, correct? So this is one way of exiting a trade. Also, I'll share you good example. For example, Piramal Enterprises was one trade which we had taken. So if you go over here, now this particular stock we had recommended somewhere over here, correct? Somewhere over here. So we entered over here, and then this was where we got a clear exit. Can you see over here? This was the entry point. So instead of exiting over here, we got to exit over here as soon as it came below the exponential moving average, correct? So yeah, this is about how to exit a trade. I hope it is clear. It's very simple. I'm not complicating it, right? And at times I would also, whenever I share a chart with you, right, I will be sharing that this is the nearest resistance. For example, if I were to look at IndusInd, right? So in IndusInd, I have taken a positional call. So if I take you to the weekly time frame of this particular stock, let me remove these two EMA, right? So I have taken a position at this level in Techem, sorry, in IndusInd, right? This IndusInd. So IndusInd has given a breakout. Now, my understanding is very simple in this stock that this is a resistance, correct? This is a resistance over here, and this is a resistance. And if I were to understand this particular stock in a very easy manner. It's given a clear breakout right over here on a weekly time frame. तो अब इसके ऊपर अगर ये सस्टेन करता है तो नियरेस्ट टारगेट तो ये आपको दिख रहा है 1590 है, 1825 है और ये नियरेस्ट रेजिस्टेंस है. However, to make your trading very objective, because this resistance can be different for you, can be different for somebody else, you are going to follow the EMA. As far as the prices stay above the EMA, you will stay in a particular trade. So this was all about how to manage the trades which will be shared with you. So we can also write this down, everything again on the board, right? So you are going to divide your money into each of these accounts equally, right? So let's say if you're given a fundamental stock, correct? So there, let's say I've given you, you are given 3 stocks, right? The rule is that you will deploy not more than 10% in one stock, correct? Right? And so if you were to actually calculate, so let's say your capital is 50,000 and the stocks recommended are, let's say, given 4 stocks, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to deploy only 10% of your capital in each stock. So you will put only rupees 5,000 in each stock. I hope this is very simple. And the same is what you're going to do in swing trades as well, right? And when to exit the fundamental pick, we will tell you. And swing, how to exit it, I'll also write down this part right over here, right? So swing trade exit, use of EMA on a daily time frame, correct? So since these are swing stocks, right, all of it will be on a daily time frame only. So this is everything. If you see, I have made it very simple for you. Apart from this, there is not much, but remember one thing: if you have, let's say, 50,000 rupees, and if you put everything into one trade, then you are taking a big risk. Now, why do we talk about position sizing? You have to understand, right? So one very simple thing in order to understand about the position sizing is very simple. Understand, guys. So let's say if 50,000 is given to you and you put 50,000 in Tata Motors, okay, and tomorrow Tata Motors falls by 30%. How much will you lose on your capital? You may end up losing 15%, right? So you have lost 15% of your capital in just one trade. But you were smart enough, you followed the rule, you put only 5,000 in Tata Motors, and let's say Tata Motors now falls by 30%, as we had discussed, right? So how much will you lose on 5,000? Just 1,500, right? Which is a very small part of your overall capital of 50,000, right? I hope you are getting this. So if you actually divide this calculator, okay, 1,500, right, divided by 50,000. So in this case, if you follow the position sizing rule, you're losing only 3% of your capital. But if you do not maintain your position sizing and you put everything in one stock, and if you lose 15,000, correct, the amount that you can lose is on the higher side, right, which can be close to 30%. I hope this is simple maths and it is pretty much clear. Okay, so the only thing which I want to say as a conclusion is maintain strict position sizing, correct? So with that note, thank you guys. I hope you've understood. For any further query, always you can mail us at market with Kumar Jai, okay, @gmail.com. So with that note, thank you guys. Thank you so much. And I hope you always follow what has been discussed with you. Thank you.